Welcome to our Healthy Living video blog at workoutmaster.com. Today we're going to talk about health versus fitness. Let's take this one apart.
Absolutely. What is the understanding of what people think that health should be and what fitness should be, and in which points do they cross and in which points do actually they run far away from each other? And that's the one thing that we want to give you our input, what we believe, what we think, what we see, and what most people will be very interested in what other people think about that, because obviously we only have here the ideas that Aram and I, we just go back and forth on.
Well, this is the thing, every time you hear people talk about health and fitness, it seems like it's just one thing. Health and fitness, health and fitness, health and fitness. And the reason why we want to call health versus fitness, because in many cases, believe it or not, health has nothing to do with your fitness.
Yeah, and I guess at the beginning level, when you begin to exercise and you watch what you eat, you pay more attention to those details, you understand that health and fitness, they do go together. But once you get to a more advanced stage of your training, or you're looking into your health into a much deeper level, even if you're looking at your life, perhaps, or your health from a spiritual perspective, you can actually totally forget about what the body is there to do. And then you just get too polarized to one instance, to one side. And then you have the people that might want to just train really, really hard. Nothing wrong with that, it's their choice. And they actually kind of disregard what's happening to their health as in an effort to get fit and more fit, that they can actually, some of that excessive training can actually be counterproductive to their health.
Exactly. One of the issue that we have is we take a note of the people that excel in the specific sports.
Yes.
And we want to be just like them because they're very good at it. Let's say Lance Armstrong did like 7 Tour de France wins, so that's an accomplishment. There's a lot of people, like some guys like lifting really heavy weights, so we'll look up for it in a way.
And as a society, something that human beings, I think most of us can have, is that, you know, as we have an ego, we tend to look, well, see who's the craziest egomaniac out there in that particular task, and how can we emulate what they do so we can get closer to be at that level.
Exactly, but when you look at them, you say, okay, I want to be just like them, but then we forget that being fit or getting to that particular level does not necessarily mean that specific person is healthy. So
True.
There's a lot of very good athletes
True.
that they fit, but they're not healthy. This is just the bottom line.
And we hear oftentimes of very young athletes that they're dying on the football field because of heat stroke, because it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just a shame that happens. But the interesting thing is that we have to kind of create an image of what health should be and what fitness can be, and oftentimes try to do the best we can to put them both together and not to go too far in one direction or the other, so you can have more balance. I think in my life it's all about balance. Mm-hmm. Do I need to be the fittest guy in the world? No, it's not something. I'm not interested. Period. However, do I want to be healthy? Yes, because I understand that, you know, neither of both things of health or fitness can you buy them in a bottle, much less health, because it takes a lot more caution and a lot more care about what you do and the outcome of that decision that you decide to make in any aspect of life. So with that understanding, my balance, my own balance, is to just be strong enough to do my activities of daily living, and they can be various and different, the different sports that I like to partake, and yet at the same time I want to be healthy enough that I can see that all my battles are working perfectly well, that I have no discrepancies of health, that everything runs good, that I don't typically or hardly ever get sick, and that to me is very important.
There's an inherent problem with measuring of your health compared to measuring your fitness, because measuring your fitness is somewhat easy. So let's say if you run a certain distance, you can measure a time. If you lift weight, you can measure how much you lift. So it's measurable, so you can keep working towards it. When it comes to health, we truly don't have an exact measurement of where am I improving. Like you look at the person, oh, he's not fit, he's probably not healthy.
Oh, they said, you know, picture perfect, you know, of health. I'm like, well,
depending.
No, no,
Not this one.
So we tend to make that mistake of it. That's why. Anyway, in any instance,
what would be your recommendation of how would you measure your health?
How well your pulses function, your temperatures, you know, how often do you get sick or not? I don't care what anybody says about
even more. It's even how good you feel. How about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I tend to feel good most of the time. I just gotta make sure that I don't skip meals or that I don't eat any garbage, because it really does kick my behind. I just don't feel good. But as far as disease and stuff like that, or feeling ill, or having to take days off from work, if I take a day off, it's because I want to, not because I woke up, you know, and I feel sick. I mean, there is times that I have, in the process of making different changes in foods and stuff like that, experimenting, I've woken up in the morning and I felt, you know, like I wanted, you know, to run to the toilet because I was gonna barf my brains out. However, I don't take days off because I'm sick, ever, because it doesn't happen to me. I mean, rarely, and I says once every several years, then I come down with some type of a bug. It doesn't happen. To me, it means a lot. But I understand that my parents were the same way. They never got sick. And I know clients that are canceling all the time because they're sick. So that's not health to me.
So we don't truly have a great measurement for health, I would say, besides, let's say, a good pulse and a good heart rate. Everything that would make sense to you and whatever makes you feel good and makes you feel healthy will be a good measurement. Your guess will be as good as ours. As a matter of fact, if you have a good guess what's a measurement of health, share it with us. We would like to hear it. Would you want to say anything else?
No, and I'm not putting myself up, God knows that I'm not putting myself up as the picture of health. Because any day, you know, anything can happen. You can blow a gasket and bye-bye, there you go. So,
well, the main point, and there's a difference between health and fitness, and we should not put them together in the one sentence.
Right.
And that's pretty much what it is.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right, guys, remember, your future looks better already, and if you share this episode with a family and friends, their future looks better too. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time.